Today I fucked up by extending my nightly smoke break. This was last night and I'm still a bit freaked out. I live in a townhome with my boyfriend and 2 other friends less than a mile away from downtown. Our neighborhood is pretty safe for the most part, but at night there are some stragglers that come around. The townhomes aren't in a gated community, but there are cameras everywhere to deter theft. In the past few months, I've been leaving the garage door open during the night after I smoke. I like to keep it open sometimes to lessen the smell of cigarette smoke. So last night, just like any other, I went down to smoke my last cig for the day. It was about 1:30 a.m. and I had my garage door open slightly, 4 feet off the ground. And as always, I sat in my chair between my car and the wall. My neighbors are mostly in their late 20s-30s and they party a lot. They also come home very late, so it's not unusual to hear footsteps or cars driving by at 2 a.m. I don't watch videos on my phone while I smoke, I just scroll through Reddit or other media. Since I smoke alone, it's really quiet in my garage because I'm just sitting there reading and smoking. My roommate has been reminding me lately to close the garage door when I'm done just in case someone comes around and has some funny ideas. I got done with my smoke break, but I think, what the heck? One more for the road. This is where I kind of foo. I heard footsteps outside and I thought nothing of it. They got closer and were picking up in speed until I heard my garage rattle. Still sitting down, I looked and saw a guy in a red hat, red jacket, and one of those black face coverings where you can only see the eyes and nose. It kinda looked like my roommate, and he usually comes in the garage after going out late somewhere. He also tries to scare me whenever I'm in there, so in my head, I thought it was him. Ick, not my brightest moment. I thought this random guy was my roommate trying to scare me. He was standing there, looking around, but he didn't see me. I can see him through the windows of my car and I let out a sarcastic Valley Girl, heel LLLLLLOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOOO from. I thought, this MF is trying to scare me, and stood up to go around my car. I was going to confront him and say, "Nice try, aw." My eyes were still locked on to this guy as I stood up from my chair, and as I started walking around my car, I see him crouch down by the passenger door. That is when I realized it was not my roommate. Oh my god, this is some random guy trying to rob us. I'm by the driver's door and I start thinking of what I should do since I don't know how dangerous this guy is. I'm 5'3" at 102 pounds. There's not much I can do against him, but I keep one of those police baton thingies my brother gave me, near me for such situations. I also had the element of surprise. Since I was standing, I can clearly see him through my car window crouching down looking around, eyes still wide as ever. Before I even react to reach my weapon, he shuffled back a bit and then turned around only to scurry off like a rat. I yelled back, "That's right, aw." I closed the garage and called my boyfriend down and we went outside. Long story short, we found them and my boyfriend confronted them and they sped off. I learned my lesson and now I keep the garage closed and take my smoke breaks on the roof. I'm just glad nothing more serious happened. Too long did not read. Today I fucked up by extending my smoke break and light one more cigarette before going upstairs. I'm a quiet smoker and the garage door was slightly open so a thief thought no one was in the garage. He came in, I spooked him, and he ran off into the night. Glad you are safe. Enjoy the smoke in peace at Roof Grin. I hate people. Thank heavens you are okay. Lesson learned. And keep the baton in the non-smoking hand. I only smoke after sex, about a pack a day. Time to stop smoking. Today I fucked up my life after trying fix up a new home and ended up homeless. This morning I spent 5 hours waiting with the police as my contractor cleared his tools from my torn-apart house. My wife and I separated last year and I found a fixer-upper for purchase close by. A friend helped me find a contractor to fix a few things in the house while I was subleasing a place for a couple of months. This guy had health issues, and took another week before showing up after he was hired. He quickly started finding more and more issues in the house and said fixing them wouldn't take too long. I trusted him since he was a friend of a friend and let him do the work. Over time the project got bigger and bigger and he kept talking me into fixing more things that were a fire hazard or not up to code. We extended the deadline by a few weeks but he never met that deadline. He would skip days and won't tell me or say he'll cover the molding days during the weekend and just won't show up. I told him I'm going through a divorce and that I need to move in ASAP before my lease expires and he guaranteed the house will be ready by then. That day came and the house wasn't ready. He only needed another week. He kept saying that for almost 3 months. Today I fired the contractor after another friend came to take a look and told me the house is at least a month away from ready and that I've been lied to this whole time. My contractor flipped and started threatening me. He wouldn't give me my keys back and said I was holding his stuff hostage and he's allowed to enter my house whenever to pick up his stuff. I called the police. They came and stayed with me until he cleared his stuff out of my ripped-apart house and gave me my keys back. He also stole some stuff on the way out. He also asked that I paid him for the work he's done on top the $10,000 he already got from me a month ago. The only available contractors I could find so far are booked for the next 2 months, which means I need to find a new place to stay for 3 more months. They need to fix the plumbing, electrical, install floors, walls and put the kitchen back together before the house is even livable again. The electrical system is not done, the plumbing is halfway, there are no floors, all the walls are open and he even took the shower apart. The kitchen cabinets are stacked on the floors because of a leak he discovered and the countertop broke during the disassembly. I can't even camp in the house because there's no floors or running water. My lease expires in 3 days. I was supposed to move in 2 weeks ago. My future ex-wife tells me not to bother her with my problems and that I can't go back to sleep in my office in the house I'm still paying mortgage for. I work from home so I have no office to go to during the day. Also, it's my birthday this weekend and I have the kids for next 5 days and nowhere to go. I really did fuck up my life. Too long did not read. Hired a contractor to fix up my new home. He ripped it apart and lied about getting work done. Wasted 3 months and $10,000 to get my house in a worse condition than it was. Will be homeless in 3 days on my birthday. If she's getting the house, make sure the mortgage transfers over to her as well. Don't end up paying for a house you don't own. Talk to your lawyer. I think the friend who introduced you to that contractor owes you a place to sleep. Firstly, if you're not divorced, your wife can't keep you out of your house. I hope you have a lawyer. Secondly, get a different lawyer so you can sue the dude for your $10,000. Your ex-wife can say whatever she wants. I don't know where you live, but in most places she is not allowed to block your access to your own house. I've had the same issue working with contractors on a fixer-upper. Never again. Now I submit requests through Home Depot's Pro Search, and verified companies reach out about projects. I got quite a few things done ASAP when I needed work on a tight deadline for a refinance. Today I fucked up by not owning up enough about being a workplace bully. I, 29F, have been working in a place for a few years. I am a good employee but sometimes insecure. It's definitely come back to bit me. One of my coworkers, Laszlo, 27M, has been working here for nearly a year and I've had a history of being rude, practically bullying him. I've called him rude names and hated how he was always so good at his job, learning faster than I did despite being younger than me. So any time he made a mistake, I pointed it out, sometimes letting out a chuckle. I complained about many coworkers, isolating them from me, and I told people that Laszlo always spends too much time in the break room after seeing him overspend once. Looking back, that was harsh. He only did it once, not all the time. I admit I was immature around him despite being older, like mocking his voice and stupid name, saying it looked like a handful of Scrabble tiles rearranged in a weird order. Honestly, I was quite a jerk. A few months ago, I apologized to him and several people I hurt. Some forgave while some were still skeptical and think I should have apologized sooner. I know realistically I will never be friends with some of the people I apologized to, but I want some common understanding and forgiveness. The mutual coworker Olivia, 31F, stated that I never listened to her and that I only use her to say bad stuff about other coworkers and asked if I have ever said bad stuff about her around other coworkers. I did and admitted it, but she was still bothered because I hadn't mentioned anything about that in my apology. She didn't think I would keep my word. Things took a really bad turn lately, since last Saturday Laszlo was in a serious motorcycle accident and was horribly injured in the hospital. A card was going around the office for him that coworkers can sign. I signed with, "Laszlo, I'm sorry. This is awful that this happened to you. Please recover. You deserve it and we care about you so much." Most people didn't pay attention to or mind my message and I felt better writing it. Olivia, who I've been wrongly giving the cold shoulder to since the unsuccessful apology, gave me a look in disbelief. I asked her yesterday why she was acting like this, but she didn't answer. Today I asked again and she stated that she won't report but doesn't believe me that I care about Laszlo or anyone in the workplace and insists I only care about myself. I congratulated him last month on an achievement and he did thank me, but he never really enjoyed being around me. Olivia doesn't like being around me either, and she was honestly right about how I didn't keep my word. I wasn't a huge bully to anyone anymore, but I was often stiff and unfriendly with people I hated. I was just too toxic to fix, and I overreacted when I repeatedly told Olivia that I don't bully, which wasn't even true. Olivia won't talk to me, and I know I messed up because I've had an unlikable past and can't take criticism. And #X200B. Too long did not read. Bullied coworkers for months, apologized for it, but did a bad job sticking to my word. So you have acted like a four-letter word at work and you expect those you victimized to forgive you. It sounds like you are still being unpleasant to some of your coworkers. You have to stop all your toxic behaviors before you can expect anyone's opinion about you to change. You dug yourself a hole, it will take time to fill it in. If you've been a jerk for a few years, and then apologize and clean up your shit over a few months, that's a good start. It puts you on a path to being a tolerable human being. But you did damage to all those relationships, and it's just not up to you if they get repaired. Today your coworkers see you as you were. Assuming you are making a sincere effort to be better, if they're going to see you differently in the future, you have to consistently behave differently, and they have to be interested enough to pay attention. Some will eventually see you, but it will take time. Some will not get there. I really recommend going to therapy if you want to improve yourself in this way. Also, if you want a clean slate, find a new job. People may let things go, but they're never going to actually act like you weren't a bully. Amethyst hole. Most people need to see words turn into actions before giving forgiveness. Also sounds like you need to grow up. Who is still a bully at your age? High school crap.